What's good, my people? Welcome back to your favorite channel for boxing, MMA, combat, sports, and everything in between. Damn, even entertainment, whatever, man. As you already know, I'm your boy, your host, Enzo. How is everyone doing? Finally, we're getting this fight. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. is what? 3 years too late in the making. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we all know why the fight hasn't happened sooner. Conor Benn, his eggs tested positives for some performance enhancing drugs or whatever happened. Do you know what I mean? His eggs were contaminated. So, the fight was pulled, so it couldn't happen. We didn't get this fight. And obviously, we know the back and forth, for the last 2 years as well that Conor Benn has been going through with the British Boxing Board of Control. So it's just been a madness, a lot of delays. Conor trying to prove his innocence. Then he got cleared by VADA. Do you know what I mean? Then he took the British Boxing Board of Control to court because they wouldn't grant him a license in the UK. It seems like the British Boxing of Control, they've kind of backed away and now Conor is free to fight. So Eddie Hearn has been talking lately, in a lot of his interviews that he's booked 2 dates at Wembley, so obviously we're now thinking that one of those dates is reserved for Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. The fight is going to take place at 160 catch weight. They're calling it for Chris Eubank Jr. Easier for him to get to that weight because obviously Chris Eubank Jr. is fought all the way up to super middleweight. Actually, he's gone all the way up to light heavy. Do you know what I mean? He's fought all the way up there. So 160, I think Chris Eubank Jr. he's been fighting there anyway. He fought, I think, Liam Smith there, his last fight against Zarameta. I think it was a 160 as well. So he's been hanging around that weight. So it shouldn't be a problem. Conor Benn is going to be coming up from welterweight, 2 weight divisions up, all the way to 160. So Conor Benn, I've watched his interviews. I've seen what he's been saying. He doesn't seem too fazed by moving up 2 division classes up to fight Eubank Jr. So he's happy. He's excited. He wants to get this fight on. He wants to absolutely knock off the head of Chris Eubank Jr. Do you know what I mean? So for me, overall, I'm just happy that we can finally get this fight, see who the hell is the best out of these 2 guys and get it out of the way. We can forget about these guys because one thing I don't really rate is these 2 guys haven't really proven themselves at the world stage. Now, in fact, I rate Eubank Jr. more than Conor Benn because Conor Benn at 28 years old, he hasn't had a title fight in the welterweight division. He hasn't fought no fight of any notoriety. I hope I'm saying that right. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't fought like a high caliber fight. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like Conor Benn has wasted a lot of his years doing a lot of talking online. Do you know what I mean? Beefing everyone, but not actually doing anything big, like having any big fights. So for me, Conor Benn still has a long way to go to prove himself. Do you know what I mean? And this fight against Eubank Jr. is basically like a legacy fight based on their father's names. Do you know what I mean? This is a family feud, a long family feud, and these 2 sons are just there just to settle the scores. Do you know what I mean? If he makes them sleep better at night and feel better about themselves, listen, go ahead, get the fight done and make loads of money while you're at it. Do you know what I mean? But if it wasn't for their fathers, none of us would be even interested in these 2 guys. Do you know what I mean? They both fight at different weight classes. Do you know what I mean? So, like I said, man, if it wasn't for their fathers, we would not be interested in this fight the slightest. But you know what? It's here. It's happening. Their fathers are who they are. Do you know what I mean? And I got great respect for their fathers. I admire their achievements. You know what I mean? I admire their skills and everything like that. So I want to see this fight. Let's let them settle the score. Let's see what's gonna happen, man. Do you know what I mean? But after this fight, I do want to see Conor Benn kick on a bit. Do you know what I mean? I want to see him start challenging the big boys in his weight division, like in his boots, who has a title. Let Conor Benn go take him out. Do you know what I mean? Go win a belt, man. Become a champion. You can't leave off your dad's name, dad's legacy and all that, man. Do you know what I mean? For me, you have to go out there and prove yourself. Do you know what I mean? Be your own, man. You know what I mean? Be on, man. Look, you guys are making money off your father's names and stuff. I get it. but I don't really respect that too much. You know what I mean? Chris Eubank Jr., look, he's had some good fights. Billy Joe Saunders, George Groves, Liam Smith. He's had a few big domestic clashes. Do you know what I mean? In the UK, he's had some big fights, but he's lost all of them as well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, look, credit to him, respect to him. He went and fought what's his name, Liam Smith in a rematch and got the job done. I actually feel like he boxed very well, very disciplined. He had a Bomac there as well, Terence Crawford's trainer. So he done really well, very disciplined, very measured, calm approach to that fight. Used his jab really well. Do you know what I mean? I really loved the way he used the jab in that fight and finished Liam Smith. Do you know what I mean? Which I feel like he should have done in the first fight. But in the first fight, he was careless. He had Roy Jones Jr. in his corner, which I didn't really feel like it helped Eubank Jr. a lot, because Eubank Jr., he's like a sponge, innit? He just soaks up. Whoever's training him, he tries to be that trainer. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he was trying to be a bit of a Roy Jones, which he shouldn't be. He should fight the way Eubank fights. Do you know what I mean? So Chris Eubank Jr., he's done all right. Like I said, he's fought some big guys, yeah, but he hasn't proven himself either. He's got great heart. He comes in, honest lad, gives everything in a ring. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing you can't take away from Chris Eubank Jr. He will leave everything in a ring. Whether he gets knocked out, he gets beat the shit up, whatever, you know he's turning up. You know what I mean? So overall, this makes for a very exciting fight, because you know Conor Benn is ferocious. He's going to come in there, throw hella punches. But I am a bit worried with the weight for Conor Benn and Chris Eubank slightly. But for Conor Benn coming up 2 weight divisions up, you know, in boxing, would he still have that speed that he currently carries at 147? I think he's even fought at 154. He hasn't looked good when he fought in Vegas in America while he was banned in the UK. He didn't look too good. He didn't set the world alight, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see when he does go up to 160. Is he gonna be able to carry that weight and sustain a level of attack, yeah, against Chris Eubank? Or will he gas out after the 4th, the 5th, and then Chris Eubank using that size advantage, ring IQ as well? Because Eubank Jr. has been around the block. Do you know what I mean? He's been around a long time, man. You know what I mean? People might not give him the credit that he deserves, because for some reason people just don't like Chris Eubank Jr. They just don't like him. I don't know, maybe the way he comes across in the media, etc. But he has got a bit of ring knowledge on him. Do you know what I mean? More experience than Conor Benn. So Conor Benn, I feel like his strategy will be to go in there and try and absolutely blow Chris Eubank Jr. out of the water within the first 4. That's going to be his strategy. Do you know what I mean? If that doesn't work, where will he go from that? Do you know what I mean? Listen, I'm not going to really talk strategics and game plan and everything like that on this video, because we're got, you know, as the fight gets closer, we're going to drop, you know, a fight breakdown and stuff like that in prediction videos. You know how it goes. You know what I mean? So we're going to leave that video for another time. But today is just about talking about this fight finally happening. You know, is the appetite still there for this fight? Not the way it was 4 years ago. I would say that Conor Benn, his behavior, the way he's gone about everything, you know, with the media overall, you know, is rubbed off a lot of people the wrong way. Some people still think like he hasn't completely vindicated himself. Some people actually believe that he hasn't gone out there to absolutely do everything to clear his name. Some people still believe he's guilty. You know, so not everyone's really going to be happy with Conor Benn at this moment of time. But a lot of the fans are going to watch the fight. It's a British, domestic, dust up, British clash. Fathers are legends. Fathers are icons in boxing in the UK. So people are going to come and support, you know. And I'm just wondering, will, what's his name? Will Chris Eubank Sr. actually be in his son's corner? Because I don't really like to get into people's personal feuds, family feuds. I just stick to the sports. But since they've both put it out there in public, we've seen them clashing with each other, father and son. And I recently saw an interview with Chris Eubank Jr. He said he wants his dad back, man. He said, yo, dad, come back. Let's link up. So I'm just wondering, it's going to be very interesting. Will Chris Eubank Sr. not be there for his son at one of his biggest fights of his career? Do you know what I mean? And the fight's actually got a lot more to do with the fathers. So it would be a shame not to see Chris Eubank Sr. miss out on the whole thing, because think about it, if Chris Eubank Sr. is there during the media, media workouts, whatever you call it, the press conferences and everything like that. Nigel Benn there as well. It's just gonna throw people back to the 90s. Do you know what I mean? And it's gonna be exciting for a lot of the fans. I think it'd be a really good thing if this fight can reunite the family. Do you know what I mean? If he can bring Chris Eubank Jr. and Eubank Sr., if he can bring them back together, back closer. I don't necessarily mean like Eubank Sr. training Eubank Jr. No, I just meant just bring them back together so we can see them at a press conference, being together, father and son, that love. And I feel that'll benefit Eubank Jr. Do you know what I mean? That will encourage him. It'll be extra motivation for him having his dad back in his corner, having a relationship back with his dad. And that will really, really set his sights on that fight, make him focus on it, make him more hungry and really go for it. Do you know what I mean? I would like to see that because I love to see that type of unity. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, great announcement. It's going to be a great fight, I reckon, for what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not taking it as something major serious because there's no titles on the line. There's no an eliminator. This is just a legacy fight. It's a family feud. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. But I'm definitely going to be dropping videos on this fight as the weeks and months leading up to April. So let me know in the comments what you think of this fight. Let's have that conversation. And who you got winning, man? Who you got winning, Conor or Ben? Let me know in the comments. Let's have that conversation. Once again, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I'm your boy Enzo. Please like the video, drop a comment, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because that's the only way you're gonna help us to grow. Once again, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.